How did one dinner with his parents end with me being served papers in a bright office lobby while strangers watched? Why did my husband stay calm for months, then suddenly show proof and ask the court to control where I live and when I see our child? My name is OnceSeraphita Caldwell, but everyone calls me Sera because my full name sounds like a poem and my life does not. I was 34, and I managed the front desk at a dental clinic. I handled schedules, insurance calls, and angry patients who thought pain was a customer service issue. I liked control. At work, people listened to me because I could fix problems fast. At home, I wanted the same thing. Ethan was my husband. He was 36 and worked in IT security. He liked rules and calm talk. He liked plans that made sense. I used to say that was mature. Later, I started calling it cold. That week started like many others, with small things that felt big to me. I stood in our kitchen and watched Ethan pour coffee like it was a ritual. He used his usual mug, the plain dark one. Mine was on the other side of the counter. 2 mugs, 2 corners. I noticed it and told myself it meant something. I asked about the weekend. He said he wanted a simple day with Noah at the park. I said I wanted us to go shopping because we needed a few things. He asked what things. I said he knew what I meant. He asked again, slow, like I was a child. I felt heat in my face. I told him I felt forgotten. He asked how he forgot me. I said I did everything, and nobody saw it. He said he saw it and thanked me often. I said words were easy. I said gifts showed real effort. He asked if I was talking about my birthday. I said it was not only about birthdays. I said it was about being valued. Ethan looked at me and asked if this was about money. I said it was about respect. I said respect follows results, and I had results. I kept our house running. I kept our son's life smooth. I said I deserved proof that he cared. He asked what kind of proof. I said he could start with better gifts. I said not cheap, not last minute, not boring. I said I wanted something that made me feel chosen. He asked if I could name one thing I wanted. I said I should not have to beg for basics. Noah walked in with his backpack half open, crayons rolling out. He looked at us and asked if we were mad. Ethan told him we were just talking. I said we were fine. I smiled too hard. Noah did not smile back. Ethan picked up the crayons and put them back. He asked Noah about school. Noah answered. Then Ethan's phone buzzed on the counter. I saw the screen for 1 second. It was a reminder, simple and white, with words that did not fit our family calendar. It said, Riverside 9:10 p.m. Ethan flipped the phone over fast. I asked what that was. He said it was a personal reminder. I asked why it was at night. He said it was nothing. He asked if we could please not do this in front of Noah. I told him he was hiding things. He said he was not. He asked why I always looked for bad meaning. That sentence made me feel like I was the crazy one. I hated it. I told him he always did that. I told him he twisted things so I sounded wrong. He said he was only asking for calm. I said calm was easy when you gave people nothing to be upset about. Later, I drove to work with the radio off. I replayed the kitchen talk like a judge in my head. I decided Ethan was the problem. I decided he was selfish with love. I decided I was brave for saying it out loud. That is how I stayed comfortable inside my own choices. At the clinic, I acted normal. I smiled at patients and fixed scheduling mistakes. I told myself I was strong. Around noon, Dylan Mercer came in to drop off new whitening sample packs. He was a vendor rep, always clean, always easy with compliments. He asked how my day was going. I said it was busy. He said I looked like I ran the whole place. I said someone had to. He asked if I was married, like he did not already know. I lifted my hand and showed my ring. He said Ethan was lucky. I laughed and said luck had nothing to do with it. He asked what I meant. I said some men stopped trying once they had you. I said it like a joke, but I watched his face. Dylan said I deserved nice things. I told him I agreed. He said he hoped I got what I wanted. I said me too. It was light. It was harmless. That is what I told myself. I kept the sample box and watched him leave, then checked my phone twice for no reason. After work, I met my sister Janelle and my mum Tracy at a family restaurant near the highway. It was a loud place with long tables and sticky menus. We sat under a TV playing sports nobody watched. I told them about the kitchen fight. I did not say everything. I said Ethan dismissed my feelings. I said he acted like I was greedy. I said he made Noah anxious because he refused to grow up. Janelle asked what Ethan got me last month. I told her about the small bouquet and the card. Tracy made a face and said that was not enough for a husband who wanted a happy wife. I said exactly. I said I was tired of being treated like an afterthought. Janelle asked if Ethan was mad. I said he always got mad when I asked for the minimum. I said he tried to make me feel shame for wanting comfort. Tracy said men used money as power. She said if he did not give freely, it meant he did not cherish me. That felt good to hear. It felt like a clean story. It took all the mess inside me and put it on Ethan's shoulders. Then Tracy asked about Sunday dinner at Ethan's parents' house. She said it would be a good time to talk sense into him. Janelle said I should bring it up in front of them. She said Ethan cared too much about looking good, so public pressure would work. I said maybe. I said I did not want drama, but I needed support. I said I was tired of carrying the marriage alone. I told them Ethan's parents liked me. I said they listened to me. I said if they knew how Ethan failed me, they would push him to change. I said it would help him. I said it would help us. I said it would be a loving wake-up call. In my head, I could already see it. Gail would look at Ethan with disappointment. Robert would tell him to step up. Ethan would feel small, then fix it. And I would feel powerful again, without having to admit I wanted power. When I got home, the house was quiet. Ethan was in his home office with the door half closed. I heard a soft click like a drawer locking. I walked past, slow, hoping he would come out and apologize. He did not. I saw a faint smell of toner in the hallway, like someone had printed something. Maybe it was nothing. I told myself it was suspicious anyway. I went to the bedroom and opened my closet. I picked a dress for Sunday dinner, even though it was days away. I held it up and practiced my face in the mirror. I practiced looking hurt, not angry. I practiced looking reasonable. I told myself I was doing what a smart woman does. Then I took out my phone and typed a message to Janelle that I deleted and typed again. I said I would say it clearly at dinner. I said Ethan needed to learn. I stared at the screen and felt sure I was right. I did not see the trap I was setting. Sunday came faster than I wanted. I spent too long on my hair and too little time on my conscience. I told myself I was not being mean. I told myself I was being honest, and honest wives saved marriages. I repeated that line until it sounded like truth. Ethan drove us to his parents' house. Noah sat in the back with his tablet and headphones. Ethan kept both hands on the wheel and stared ahead. I asked if he was still upset. He said he did not want to fight before dinner. I said I also did not want to fight. I said I only wanted support. He asked what I meant by support. I said he would see. When we arrived, Gail opened the door fast, like she had been waiting behind it. She hugged Noah first, then hugged Ethan, then touched my arm and asked how I was doing. I said I was fine, but tired. Robert stood behind her and nodded. He asked Ethan about work. Ethan said it was busy. Robert said busy was good. Their house smelled like roast chicken and floor cleaner. Everything looked placed on purpose, like a show home. The table was set with cloth napkins and matching plates. I noticed Gail had set a small vase of flowers at my spot. I decided that meant she liked me more than Ethan deserved. We sat down. Noah started talking about school. Gail asked him questions and listened like every word mattered. Ethan helped Noah cut his food. I watched Ethan do that and felt a strange mix of anger and fear. I wanted to be the center. I wanted Ethan to chase me, not focus on the child like I was extra. Gail asked how my job was going. I told her the clinic needed me, and I kept everything running. I said patients trusted me. Robert said that sounded like real skill. Ethan glanced at me like he was waiting for the next part. I smiled and kept going. I started with something small. I said Ethan had been distant at home. Gail asked what I meant. I said he did not plan nice surprises anymore. I said he was practical all the time, like a roommate. Ethan put his fork down and asked me to stop. I said I was just sharing how I felt. I said his parents cared about us, so it was normal. Gail asked Ethan if that was true. Ethan said he tried, and he thought we were okay. He said we had stress like any family. I shook my head and said it was more than stress. I said a wife should feel valued. Robert asked how I did not feel valued. That question was a door, and I walked through it. I said Ethan did not satisfy me with gifts. I said it slowly, so it landed. I watched Gail's face change. I watched Robert blink like he missed a step. I told myself it was good. I told myself I was finally being brave. Ethan asked why I was saying this there. I said because he ignored me at home. I said he acted like gifts were silly. I said I carried the emotional load and got nothing back. Gail asked what kind of gifts I meant. I said I meant thoughtful gifts, not a grocery store bouquet, not a basic card, not things that felt forced. Ethan said he bought gifts when he could, and he planned a trip last year. I said that trip was for him too. I said he always found a way to make my happiness look like a burden. Robert asked if money was tight. Ethan said money was fine, but he did not like being tested. I said it was not a test. I said it was basic care. Gail asked me if I spoke to Ethan like this at home. I said yes, because I had to. I said he only listened when I got serious. Ethan asked me to lower my voice. I said I was not loud. I said he was trying to paint me as unstable. I said he always did that. Noah looked up and asked if we were mad again. Gail quickly told him to eat and said adults were just talking. Ethan touched Noah's shoulder and nodded. I felt annoyed that Ethan looked gentle while I looked like the storm. I leaned into it. I said Ethan cared more about numbers than feelings. I said he would rather save money than invest in me. I said it was embarrassing. I said other husbands did better. I saw Ethan's jaw tighten. He did not shout. He only asked me to stop comparing him. I said I was not comparing. I said I was describing reality. Robert cleared his throat and asked if we could talk privately later. Gail asked me if I needed anything, like therapy or rest. That made me angry. I said I did not need fixing. I said Ethan needed to grow up and act like a husband. Ethan's sister Maddie arrived late with her keys jingling, and she felt the tension right away. She asked what she missed. Gail told her it was not the time. Maddie looked at me and then at Ethan, like she could guess. Dinner ended with tight smiles. Gail packed leftovers too carefully. Robert walked us to the door and said we all needed calm. Ethan thanked them for dinner. I thanked them too, but my voice sounded proud, like I won a point. In the car, Ethan asked why I did that. I said because he forced me to. I said he ignored my needs until I involved people he respected. He said he respected me and asked me to stop using shame. I said he was ashamed because he knew he failed. He said he did not fail, and he would not argue while Noah was in the back. I said he always hid behind Noah. When we got home, Ethan carried Noah inside and helped him wash up. I followed and waited in the hallway, arms crossed. I wanted Ethan to apologize first. I wanted him to beg me not to embarrass him again. Instead, he moved with slow control. I heard a printer sound from his office, then silence, then a blank page slid into the tray. I pretended not to notice. I noticed everything. His phone buzzed once with a missed call that showed no name. He did not pick it up. He turned the phone face down. After Noah went to his room, Ethan came to the entryway and stood near the front door. He asked if I understood what I did. I said I did what I had to do. He said I crossed a line with his parents. I said they deserved to know. He said our marriage was not a performance. Then he opened the door. He told me to leave the house at once. He said I could go to my sister's or my mum's, but I could not stay there tonight. I stared at him and waited for him to soften. He did not. I asked if he was really doing this. He said yes, and he repeated that I needed to go now. I walked to the bedroom in a sharp, loud way, like footsteps could make him regret it. I grabbed my bag and threw in clothes without folding. I wanted him to follow me. I wanted him to stop me. He stayed in the hallway and watched, quiet and steady. When I came back to the door, he handed me my car keys. His hand did not shake. He asked for my house key. I hesitated, then gave it to him because I did not want to look guilty. He stepped back and waited until I was outside. On the porch, I turned around and said he was proving my point. I said he was cruel and cheap with love. He said I could talk tomorrow about Noah's schedule. He said tonight was done. Then he closed the door, and the lock clicked like a final answer. I slept on Janelle's couch that night, but I did not sleep much. The apartment smelled like perfume and fried food. Janelle kept asking if I wanted tea, like tea could fix a marriage. I said I was fine. I said I was not scared. I said Ethan was just trying to control me. Janelle asked what happened at the door. I said he kicked me out like I was nothing. I left out the part where I handed him the house key too fast. I said he was punishing me for being honest. Janelle said he sounded childish. She said a real man would talk. I said yes. I said he always hid behind calm so he could look good. My phone buzzed all night. The first message was from Ethan. He asked where I was and if I was safe. He said Noah would go to bed at 8. He said Noah asked why I left. He said we could talk tomorrow about pickup. I read it twice and felt insulted by how normal it was. I wanted anger. I wanted him to beg. I wanted him to say he was sorry. Instead, he sounded like a manager sending an email. I replied that I was safe and that he embarrassed me by throwing me out. I said he was acting like a tyrant. He replied that he did not want to fight and that we would make a plan for Noah. I told Janelle he was cold. She said cold men were dangerous in a different way. In the morning, Janelle took a photo of me on the couch with a blanket. She asked if she could post it. I said yes, because people needed to see what Ethan did. She posted a story with no name, just a line about being discarded. I watched the views climb and felt calm for the first time since the dinner. At work, I walked in like nothing happened. I smiled at Dr. Nand and said the weekend was busy. Dr. Nand asked if I was okay because my eyes looked tired. I said I had family stress. She told me to keep it outside the clinic. I said of course. Between calls, I checked my phone. Ethan sent a second message. He asked if I could meet at the school at 3 for Noah's pickup. He said he would be there too. I asked why he needed to be there. He said it was better to keep it simple. That sentence made me angry. He was acting like he owned simple. I told Janelle about the school plan. She said I should not let Ethan control the setting. She said I should go out and be seen. She said if he wanted to act single, I should act single too. I told her he did not want to act single. I told her he just wanted to look like a hero. After work, Janelle and 2 of her friends met me at a rooftop bar downtown. It was windy and loud and full of people taking photos of their drinks. I liked places like that because nobody asked deep questions. They only asked if you were having fun. Janelle introduced me as the sister with a problem husband. Her friend Lila asked what he did. I said he shamed me for wanting normal things. I said he made me feel like a burden. I said he used money like a leash. Lila said that sounded abusive. That word hit me like a prize. I did not correct her. They asked if Ethan bought gifts. I laughed and said he bought the type of gifts you buy for a coworker. I said he did not know me. I said he never tried. I left out the flowers, the trip, the small efforts. I said he did the minimum and called it love. Janelle said Ethan threw me out because I told the truth to his parents. Lila said that was insane. Another friend, Marco, said men hated being exposed. I nodded like I was an expert. I said Ethan cared more about his image than my feelings. I said he always wanted to look like the good guy. I posted a photo of my drink with a caption about choosing peace. I knew it was not peace. It was a warning. I watched for Ethan's name in my viewers list. He did not look, or he looked and did not react. That made me feel invisible, and I hated it. My phone buzzed while I was at the bar. It was a message from Noah's teacher in the class app, reminding parents about a field trip form. I forwarded it to Ethan with a short note. He replied, "Thanks," nothing else. I stared at the screen and felt like I was losing a game I invented. Later, I went to the gym near Janelle's apartment. I told myself it was self-care. I told myself I was rebuilding. In the lobby, the mirrors made everyone look sharper than real life. I walked slower, letting people see me. Dylan messaged me then. He replied to my choosing peace post and asked if I was okay. He said I did not deserve to be treated like that. He said he always wondered why a woman like me looked tired. I felt my chest lift, like air came back. I told him it was a hard week. He asked if he could help. I said I just needed someone who understood. He said he understood. He said some men forgot what they had. I said yes, they did. I kept the conversation light, but I did not stop it. I told myself it was not wrong to talk. At 3, I met Ethan at the school pickup line. He stood near the office door, not in the car line, like he wanted witnesses. I told myself he was being dramatic. Noah ran to him first and hugged his leg. Ethan asked Noah about his day. Noah answered, then looked at me like he was checking if I was safe too. Ethan asked if we could talk for 1 minute. I said we could talk later. I said this was not the place. He said that was fine and asked about my plan for the night. I said I would take Noah to Janelle's. He said Noah needed his routine and his own bed. I said his own bed was at the house I was not allowed to enter. Ethan said I could come in for Noah's things if we set a time. He said he would leave the porch light on and wait in the car. He said he did not want conflict. I said he was acting like I was dangerous. He said he was trying to keep things calm for Noah. Noah held my hand tighter and asked if we were getting dinner together. Ethan told him we would do dinner on different nights for now. Noah asked why. Ethan said grown-ups had problems to solve. I said Ethan made the problems. Ethan did not answer that. He just looked at Noah and nodded like he was writing it down in his mind. That evening, when I went to the house for Noah's backpack and pajamas, the porch light was on. Ethan's car was parked facing the street, like he was ready to leave at any second. I walked in and saw the kitchen counter cleared. No clutter, no notes. 2 separate mugs sat far apart, like markers. I grabbed Noah's things fast. I passed Ethan's office door and heard a soft beep, like a recording app starting or stopping. I paused. Then I told myself I was imagining it because I was stressed. Still, my stomach tightened. Back at Janelle's, I lay on the couch again and scrolled through my posts. People had sent supportive messages. They said I was strong. They said I deserved better. Dylan sent another message telling me to get some rest. I smiled at my phone in the dark and told myself I was finally being seen. The next week felt like I was living in 2 stories at once. One story was the one I told people, where Ethan was cruel and I was brave. The other story was the one happening quietly, where Ethan moved like a person who stopped arguing and started counting. At the clinic, I acted bright. I smiled at patients. I joked with assistants. I told myself I was fine. Still, my phone stayed warm in my hand all day. Dylan kept messaging me in small bursts. He asked how I slept. I said not well. He asked if Ethan apologized. I said Ethan was stubborn. Dylan said stubborn men only learned when they felt loss. I said that was true, like I was reading a rule book. At lunch, I sat in the break room with my salad and listened to the microwave hum. 2 hygienists talked about holiday gifts from their husbands. One said her husband surprised her with a weekend trip. The other said hers bought her a bracelet. I laughed and said lucky them. They asked what Ethan got me. I said Ethan was more practical. I made it sound like a flaw he chose on purpose. A patient later recognized me from my sister's story. She asked if I was okay. I said yes and thanked her. She said men could be so selfish. I nodded. I did not correct her. I liked how fast a rumor could become a fact when it matched what people already believed. Dr. Nan called me into her office after my shift. She asked if I was having personal trouble. I said yes, but I could handle it. She said the clinic could not be part of my home drama. She said patients talked. I said it was not drama, it was a separation. She said separation was still drama if it spilled into the waiting room. I told her I understood. I walked out feeling insulted, like even my pain needed permission. Dylan came by near closing time with a new display stand. He asked if he could talk for a minute. I said yes, but I kept my voice low. He said he hated seeing me stressed. I said I was strong. He said strong women still deserved care. I told him Ethan did not care the right way. Dylan asked if I ever felt lonely, even while married. I said yes. He said he could relate. I told him I did not need saving, but I let him stand too close in the hallway anyway. I said I had to check inventory in the supply closet. Dylan asked if he could help carry boxes. I said sure. Inside the closet, the air smelled like plastic and mint. We moved boxes onto the top shelf. Dylan told me I looked different today, like I had energy again. I said it was because I was finally choosing myself. He said that was attractive. I laughed in a nervous way and told him to stop. He did not stop talking, but he lowered his voice. I told myself it was harmless because nothing happened. I ignored how my heart was racing like I was doing something I should not do. That night, Ethan texted me a simple plan for Noah. He said pickup would be at the school office at 3:05. He said drop-off would be at 6:45. He asked me to confirm. He did not add feelings. He did not add blame. It felt like a contract without paper. I wrote back that he was treating me like a babysitter. He replied that he was trying to keep Noah stable. I told Janelle that Ethan was being controlling. Janelle said I should refuse his plan. She said I should take Noah overnight to show Ethan he could not manage me. I almost did it just to prove a point, but I knew Ethan would not chase me. He would only record the time I broke the routine. At the school office, Ethan stood beside the wall, not leaning, not restless. He greeted the secretary like he knew her. Noah ran to him first again. I told myself it was because Ethan was there more. I told myself Ethan was training Noah to pick him. That was easier than admitting Noah liked calm. Ethan asked Noah if he finished his reading log. Noah said yes. Ethan said good job. Then Ethan asked me if I signed the field trip form. I said I forgot. He said he printed a copy and left it in Noah's folder. I asked why he printed it. He said it was easier. I watched him speak like everything had a process now. When I went to the house for Noah's homework book, Ethan did not come outside this time. He texted that the back door would be unlocked for 10 minutes. He said he would be in the garage. I felt insulted by the way he controlled minutes. Inside, the house looked different. The counter was clean again, like before. A shredder sat near the pantry, not hidden, like it belonged there. It was unplugged, but I imagined the hum anyway. On the fridge, a new sticky note said, "Bring forms." It was in Ethan's neat handwriting. I did not know why that bothered me so much. I passed his office and saw his laptop open. It was a spreadsheet, but I could not see the title. I only saw lines and numbers. Next to it was a folder stack labeled Household and Bank. A small USB stick sat on top, with a date written in marker. Ethan stepped into the doorway and asked what I needed. I said Noah's book. He said it was on the table. He closed the office door with a soft click. I told myself he was hiding money. I told myself he was planning to punish me. I did not consider that he might be protecting himself in a normal way. That weekend, Gail called me. She asked how I was doing. Her voice sounded polite but tired. She said Noah missed his room. She said Ethan looked worn down. I said Ethan wanted to look like a victim. She said Ethan did not look like a victim. He looked like a man trying to keep peace. I said he threw me out. She said I forced a moment that could not be undone. I told her she was choosing Ethan over me. She said she was choosing Noah's stability. After the call, I messaged Dylan. I said Ethan's family turned on me. Dylan said families always protected their own. He said I needed someone on my side. I told him I already had people on my side. Still, I felt the pull of his attention like a warm light. Later that night, Noah asked me why Daddy did not smile at me anymore. I said Daddy was stressed. Noah asked if it was because of gifts. I froze. I said no, it was adult stuff. Noah said he wanted us all to eat dinner together again. I said maybe soon. I hated how easily I lied to him, like it was a small thing. When I put Noah to bed at Janelle's, he hugged his stuffed bear and asked if he could go home tomorrow. I said we would see. In the dark, I stared at my phone and watched Dylan typing, then stopping, then typing again. A small notification popped up on my screen from a cloud app I barely used. It said, "File uploaded successfully." I did not remember uploading anything. My chest tightened, and I told myself it was just my phone being weird. Still, I held my breath like the air itself was evidence. I told myself I was still in control, but the days started to feel like a hallway with doors closing one by one. Ethan did not chase me. He did not shout. He did not post online. He did not call my friends to defend himself. He just tightened the shape of our life until there was less room for my noise. It began with small money moments. I went to the supermarket with Noah after school. I filled the cart with the usual things and a few extra items that made me feel like my life was not shrinking. At the checkout, my card declined. The beep sounded too loud. The cashier asked if I had another payment method. People behind me looked at their phones like they were not watching. I tried again. Declined. My face burned. I told the cashier it was a bank error. I said I would use a different card, but I did not have one that worked. Noah asked if we were in trouble. I said no, and I smiled like it was a game. Ethan's text came right then, like he had been waiting for the moment. He asked if I needed him to pay for groceries, and if I could send a list. He asked for the total and a photo of the receipt after. He did not write one emotional word. I felt insulted by the receipt request more than the decline. I wrote back that he was humiliating me on purpose. I said he was controlling. He replied that he was not controlling. He was tracking shared costs while we were separated. He said we had to be clear for Noah. He wrote that last part, like it was a shield he could hide behind. I took a photo of the cart anyway. I sent it. He paid through a transfer. The cashier nodded and kept scanning. I wanted to cry, but I held it in because crying would admit I was losing. In the car, Noah asked if Daddy was mad at me. I said Daddy was stressed. Noah asked if we could go home tonight. I said we would see. Noah looked out the window and went quiet. That quiet felt like blame, even though it was only sadness. That night, I called my mom. Tracy asked what happened. I told her Ethan was restricting my access to money. She said he was trying to break me. She said I should post about it. She said people hated men who punished mothers. I liked how fast she made Ethan the villain again. Janelle agreed. She said I should refuse receipts. She said I should take Noah and disappear for a weekend so Ethan would learn fear. I did not do it, but I let the idea sit in my mind like a weapon I could pick up later. The next day, I went to a therapist's office near the clinic. I told myself it was for stress. I told myself it would make me look reasonable if anyone asked. The waiting room had soft music and chairs that sat too low. A woman next to me whispered into her phone. She said her ex was weaponizing paperwork. I felt my stomach drop at that phrase, even though I did not know why. When the therapist called my name, I sat down and started with my best version of the story. I said my husband threw me out over a small comment. I said he was cold and proud. I said he punished me with silence. The therapist asked what the comment was. I told her I said something about gifts to his parents. I said I only wanted support. She asked if I thought that was private or public. I said it was family. She asked how Ethan looked in that moment. I said he looked embarrassed. She asked if I understood why. I did not like those questions. They felt like blame. I said he wanted to be seen as perfect. I said he could not handle honest feedback. The therapist asked what I wanted now. I said I wanted respect. I said I wanted my home back. I said I wanted Ethan to stop acting like I was a stranger. She asked if I was seeing anyone else. I paused. I said no, not really, just friends. The therapist asked if I felt lonely. I said yes, because Ethan never tried. I kept saying never, because it made my choices sound smaller. After the session, I messaged Dylan. I told him therapy was annoying. He asked what happened. I said the therapist tried to make me feel guilty. Dylan said guilt was how people controlled women. He said I should trust my feelings, not systems. That word, systems, made me feel warm and angry at the same time. Ethan's system showed up at the school again. He asked the secretary to print a second copy of the field trip form. He asked Noah's teacher about reading logs. He kept his voice polite. He kept his hands visible. He looked like a man who wanted witnesses, but in a clean way. When Noah came out, Ethan asked if I could confirm the weekend plan in writing. He said it was better to avoid confusion. I said he was being dramatic. He said drama was confusion. He said clear plans helped Noah sleep. Noah heard his name and looked up. Ethan smiled at him right away. I felt like Ethan used kindness as a weapon too, because it made me look worse. That evening, Ethan agreed to let me come to the house to get more of Noah's clothes. He said I could come at 7:30, and he would be upstairs with Noah. He said we did not have to talk. I told him we had to talk, because he could not treat me like a visitor. Inside the house, the air felt different, not warmer or colder, just organized. Shoes were lined up. Mail was stacked in one neat pile. I saw a new key on Ethan's ring when he came down the stairs. I asked what it was for. He said it was for storage. I asked what storage. He said it was a place to keep extra things safe. I went to the bedroom and opened the closet. Some of my hangers were gone. My skin prickled. I asked Ethan if he moved my things. He said he moved shared items into separate spaces to reduce conflict. I said he was erasing me. He said he was creating order. On the landing by the stairs, I pushed harder. I said he was punishing me over gifts. I said he made me look broke at the supermarket. I said he was trying to ruin my life. He asked why I kept calling it punishment when it was structure. I said structure was just a fancy word for control. Ethan held the stair rail and looked at me like he was tired in his bones. He asked me to stop talking about him to other people. He said Noah heard too much. I said I could talk to whoever I wanted. I said he did not own my voice. He took a slow breath, like he was counting to 10. Then he said he would not argue anymore. He said he would handle it properly. My phone told me to come to the office tower lobby at 10:20 a.m. for a quick talk. I thought Ethan wanted peace. He stood near the glass doors with Gail and Robert, and Noah's small jacket in Gail's hands. A woman in a blazer walked up, asked my name, and held out an envelope. Ethan did not touch it. He said he would not debate, and he wanted things formal. I opened it and saw divorce papers and temporary orders. It said Ethan had the house for now, and I had set pickup times for Noah starting today. It warned me to stop posting about him, and to return keys and shared cards. My legs felt weak. Ethan only asked if I understood, then turned away. In front of strangers, I felt my story collapse, like a door locking.